dear friends, and welcome to Mystic Star Magic. I'm so happy you are here. Oh my goodness, I really am. So this, if you don't know, I have a community tab where I put each week choices for the readings. So this one was the most highly requested of the fun/general reading, and I'm actually very excited to be doing this. It's going to be a little different, so that's also why I'm excited. I'm like, I will see if it comes out how I want it to come out, but is this the reading of whether you should stay or should you move on? And so this reading, general fun reading, kind of is in all aspects. So if you want to look at it in terms of love, that could be something you can look at it. If you want to think about it as in terms of your career and location or maybe major or whatever it is, that question is, should you stay where you are or should you move on? And I have the song of like, should you stay or should you go now? If you stay, it will be trouble, and if you go, it will be double. So that's the song, kind of like that got me to thinking this, and I'm not very good at singing, so pardon my singing. But with this, I do have a little bit of a caveat, and I'm making this intro a little longer. Really, when making a decision, always really listen to your own intuition. What I'm hoping this does is gives you it echoes your own intuition. It sort of like resonates for you. So that's what I want this reading to be, like a resonation, like maybe because sometimes especially when we're making a big choice about something, I always feel like we just kind of block our knowing, our intuition, because we're a little bit afraid of either one of the actions we need to take, whether it's staying or whether it's going. So really listen to your intuition, and I'm hoping this just echoes, it just resonates in ways that you understand. I'm actually going to be using the charms, if hopefully I remember, because I actually want to, I want as many things possible for you to see that it's like a sign. This is how I kind of think about it. This is a sign that you needed, like something's been on your mind and you found this reading. It was meant for you to find it, and so I want to give you as many confirmations as you can get. So I'm hoping this will pan out. So thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited. So let's look at gonna just show you. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. I want you to take a deep breath in, close your eyes, clear your mind, and then I want you to think about the question, like what is it that you really need help with? And now as you exhale and open your eyes, choose whichever pile draws you to it. All right, let's do this. My dear friends from pile 1, I am so happy you are here. So if you didn't hear my spiel, this is the highest chosen, I guess the most voted on reading in the community tab. So if you want to actually get input, if you want to be part of the community and get to choose the readings that I create for you, go check out the community, consider subscribing. There's many perks to it. One of them is the personal reading giveaway month that I do monthly. All right, enough of that. Let's actually talk about this. So I want to give you the best answer for should you stay or should you move on. And so like I said, this could be for love, this could be about work, this could be about moving, it could be any of those things. So I'm actually giving you the choices here, and so we're going to look at each side. So this is if you should move, and this is if you should stay. And I actually wanted to draw a little bit of charms for you, so you kind of can have this is charms for this one. So I'm actually going to show them to you. So you can choose based on that as well. And this is the charms for this one. So look at that. Okay. So each one has its own charms here, and maybe I want you to see both of them. So this should help you also choose whichever it is of these two cards that you're being drawn to. And the beautiful thing is you can actually see what answer is for each one. So should you stay? And this is a collective reading, so it's a little harder because it is it's a general reading. So a general collective reading in terms of there's a lot of people. Okay. But this is, here we have, this is what you chose. You have this dove. Take a leap of faith. Oh, and we're gonna get into these guys too. So these are your different choices as well. But we're gonna talk about this one for a little bit. So here we have the dove. There's a sense of peace coming through here. For some of you, maybe this is about traveling somewhere, moving somewhere. For others of you, maybe it's could be for, I don't know why I keep like maybe pregnancy. Should you have kids? There's a lot of transformation. I can see, what I'm seeing here though is with that take a leap of faith, because, and you know, you could say like, oh, it's like, it could mean that, yeah, you move towards like something, you move on. But also like sometimes staying allowed also has that same feeling of taking a leap of faith. So that's why I'm like, oh, I like this a lot though, because it could go either way. There is a lot of, but what I'm seeing here, and this is always important to me, because like I said, always like trust your intuition. You already know the answer in your heart of hearts. I am hoping that this just gives you either confirmations or just feels like an echo of something, like just sort of resonates in such a in a way that you're like, okay, you find peace in the choice that you make. And that's sort of what I'm hoping that you have. All the colors here, I almost feel like there's a sense of you painting. Like, and this is what I'm seeing here. Regardless of the choice, you are the ones who are painting, like creating this reality that you have. This is what I'm seeing here. You've already created quite a beautiful thing here, but it's sort of like you're in the process of creating something even more, something even bigger, I think, with the world there as well. It's an interesting thing, because I feel like both, it could go either way. Well, and you'll see, I mean, that's the answer for each one of you, right? So this is, I'm sort of like showing you, should you stay or should you go? And then I want you to also see, like, I'll show you this is the pink bucket, the Q, those are also like part of your selection. There's heart here, there's you, the you here. We also have strong is beautiful, and this is for moving forward. And then this is another thing. So look at all these things, and I want you to use your intuition about where you want to. This is going and this is staying here. And like there's a seed here, this like a sprouting seed. We also have, this is like a moon. Yeah, the moon. Right there, growing moon. We have Cancer possibly here. We have bloom. We have 6 is a number here, and E. Okay, so look at each one. I mean, I understand that. I'm like, which one looks like, I don't know, like you feel like the pile that you want to choose. So this is for going and this is for staying. Okay, so let's take a deep breath in. Clear your mind, close your eyes, and just choose whichever pile of these two you like. All right, let's do this, right? I'm gonna pause. So you chose, I'm gonna just leave that there. So you chose this light bearer. Oh, I really like this one. So this is if you're going. Is it sort of like you are following your heart? The guidance is here. It's almost, you can see this emotions moving forward. Like this is the important thing here for you. Is your heart going into this place? This is what it seems like it's going to do. Yeah, and you even have the heart charm here, so could be there. Also with the light bearer, it also lets me see that there is a sense of well, light work, right? So it could be a light worker, but what I'm seeing here is that there's almost like a lot of like everything is hazy. It's almost like this representation here. Everything, there's no detail here. There's like almost no real detail. The only real detail comes in from the heart. If this is a heart yearning that it's coming through, I feel like maybe why you're hesitating on saying yes, I'm moving on, like taking that leap of faith here, is because everything else is hazy to you. You just really listening to your heart, but all the details are hazy, and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't really know. And I could see why that could be very frightening. Also have burden, yeah, okay. We have struggle, and I want you to see this. So this is what I'm going to say is that this path will not be easy, right? Because, well, you already have this thing of like, and like there is the pink bucket here. You already have this thing of like you're not sure about it. There is a sense of burden here. So I won't deny that. There's a struggle. There's a lot of struggle. But I want you to also see something else. And strong is beautiful. I think what I'm seeing here is that you are strong enough to overcome this burden. The burden here is also allowing, like, okay, so when we move, right, when we take a leap and we move on to the next place, or the next, you know, like move on from a relationship, move on from a job, move on from like a place that we've like lived, there is a sense of, yes, there is a sense of excitement, and there is, you know, like there's a sense of like something new is coming, but there, with when I'm seeing the burden is that it's also you also have to let go of things, right? You can't, like, you're not going to be doing both. You're actually having the burden of the releasing of the old, and and we think that, well, from my experience, I'm going to say this. From my experience is that we often, like, we're like, okay, once we've moved on to this whole new thing, everything is going to sort of like magically get better. Like all the things are going to magically get like happen, and then all of a sudden we're just going to be happy. And then it's not so there, because this isn't sort of like the shift. There is also like a struggle. There is also a thing of learning while we get to something new. So although, you know, there is the burden and there is struggle, there is also this chair, which I love, this, the renewal, reincarnation, good fortune, right? It's almost like, I feel like, yes, there will be hard parts to this, right? you moving forward, releasing the past, and also what you've known. Like it really is where we are in a sense of comfort, where we know everything, right? There's a sense of knowing, of the comfort of that. There's a great sense of that. But as we release the leaves here, that's the burden, as we release them, I think that actually shakes us a little bit to our core. And so this is beautiful, that the guiding thing here, the guiding thing is your heart. You don't really know, and it feels like that. It's sort of like you don't know what's to come, and it does seem like it will be a struggle. And that's something like I'm okay with that too, because I feel like there's a sense of once you've overcome the struggle, because look, you go from the fall to the winter to the, I would say, like almost spring, summer. Like this cherry for me is more like a summer thing. So you go from fall to winter, you're gonna have fall, winter, and then like you skip almost like spring here, the struggle is there, and then you have the summer, which is quite lovely. And cherry again, for some of you, it's sort of like, and look at the abundance of cherries. Red is also a passion, like your heart is the one that's guiding you here. But you have to have this, and I like that this is telling us here, you're determined. You have to be determined. There has to be a determination. It has to, this is very much for me the Nine of Wands energy. You have to like be willing to, I almost feel like, struggle at it a little bit. It's not going to be an easy thing. But it's to your benefit. That's another thing I want to say. But the struggle isn't there to slow you down. It's actually to, I want to say, like, you can be forged into steel. Like there's a sense of strength that grows here. It actually will make you stronger. It will prepare you for the next phase in your life, because even though we make that decision, right, and move on, we'll continue to grow. There's going to be still more things that we have to do. So let's go ahead and see what we have for you here. Let's see what we have. So this is what, this is moving on. This is what's moving on. Yep, choices, opportunities, the Seven of Cups. We're going to have a lot of opportunities. You are going to have struggles here. And this is the struggles here of, I almost feel like it's a lot of internal conflict. It's a lot of your own, it's a lot of internal struggle here. It's also the Seven of Swords. There's just like Wheel of Fortune, and then one more. Oh, I do like this one. Eight of Shields. Yeah, you have, it's sort of like, and I want you to see like this is the beginning, the Fool, and then you're moving forward with the Chariot on top. And I wasn't going to do this usually because I do that mostly for my personal readings, but this feels like a personal reading of sorts. So the choices are there. Now with the questioning beast with the Seven of Cups, so the Seven of Cups is quite beautiful because you have these options, and I feel like this is, of course, this is a reading. It's like it's about the options. Like, should you move on, which is this, right? This is what happens if you move on, right? You're going to have choices. But the Seven of Cups is that there's a sense of there's also like a sense of magic to that Seven of Cups. It's always, to me, it's always like, oh, it's gonna be better, and it's like, you know, like, and that's what I don't want. Like, it's not gonna be instantaneously like done. Like, it's gonna like fix. This is, you move, but there's still like I said, there is struggle, there is burden, there's growth that needs to happen here. This is, I would really do say, I think, like forging you to be a lot stronger. But it's a positive thing. I really do think it's a very positive thing. The Seven of Cups, yes, but it's also like a sense of daydreaming about it. That's what I'm like noticing. It's sort of like you're daydreaming. You're saying the grass is greener, definitely over on that side, right? The grass, and there's potential here for that. Yes, there is. But it's not. I almost want to say like the choice is really, there's going to be growth one way or another. I really often think that way. It will be a bit of a struggle, but it will be a good one. There will be momentum and movement where I feel like you've been feeling stagnant. And that's what I feel like. That's why you want to take this next step. Whatever it is, like what you want to move forward, because I feel like you have been feeling stagnant. You also feel like maybe this here with this burden is also like the Eight of Cups in a sense. It's sort of like the cups are empty. It makes sense that we have the Seven here, that the cups are empty and you're ready to move on, right? But what I want you to see, that there is a lot of internal struggle even as you move on, because it's sort of like you're creating a new identity, creating a new life. Creating a new you is really what I'm saying here. It's like, that's the thing. You're creating a new you. You don't, like, maybe it's like, oh, it's not, but it's a big thing here. There's a lot of with the Seven of Swords. And look at how you have 7 and 7. So it's, to me, a very auspicious number here with the 7. Sort of like the right path. So the Seven of Swords is the sword and the stone. It's sort of like you're picking up the quest. You're picking it up. But it's almost also, to me, it's sort of like this Seven of Swords here. Oh, I love this. It's sort of like you're finally letting the mask go down. It's finally like you get to truly be who you are meant to be. And that's the thing. You have this. That's what you're stepping into with this. You're finally becoming who you are meant to be. And it's a big thing because, like, again, it's like that 7. It's an actual calling, I would say. With the Wheel of Fortune guiding you here, it's sort of like, again, I feel like you were feeling stuck. You were feeling that 8 of Cups energy, and that's why you want to move on. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which to me is saying that even though there's going to be struggle, even though there's going to be like a lot of internal conflict within yourself, because as we release the mask, as we release the old us who wasn't really us, right? It's sort of like it was at us at that time because we needed it to be that way. It will be a struggle in ourselves here, but I feel like what I'm seeing here is that there will be good luck. There's a lot of spirit energy here, moving things for you. There's a momentum that you're finally moving forward. And again, being who you're wanting to be. With this 8 of Shields, 8 of Pentacles, it is also saying, like, to me, it's sort of like, yes, it's not the ending though. It's sort of like you're still going to work, but I feel like the 8 of Pentacles for me, it's always like work that you like to do, work that you enjoy. So it'd be like if it's and there's so many different things I can think of, like, yes, moving, like the circumstances I'm not sure about, like it could be like love, it's just like, but what I'm seeing here, it's something that it's better fitted for you, it's better suited for you, but it's not like the end. It's sort of like, to me, that's what I keep saying, it's not the end. It's sort of like, this step is only the beginning forward here. But again, it's sort of like you are shaping yourself into being something like even more than you even dream about. Like I really do feel like it's sharpening you in some way as well. So stronger is beautiful, and I feel like that's where you find this strength coming through here. I do want a little more guidance here. Moving forward, like, so let's moving on. Transformation, yes, that is what it is. It's sort of like that transformation of, I almost feel like there's a sense of like, I really do want to say you're forging metal and the forging of metal is here. And look at this. I love this because this is what I'm seeing here. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? And what I feel like you are. You're trying to answer your deepest calling here in some way or another. And you have this warrior energy here. Beautiful, beautiful. So what do you need to surrender if you're on this path, which I really do think that it is? You're surrendering to the transformation. You're surrendering to something wholly other, to a whole new you, I tell you. And we have to surrender the worry. So here, make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. And that's the thing here, because Spirit is, I think Spirit is definitely guiding you, and your heart is guiding you here. And that's why I'm like, yes, this makes a lot of sense to me. Sort of like you are finally taking charge of life here. Like metal is just so important. Like you keep forging metal. You're forging metal. So yeah, there's that transformation. I almost want to say from something. I almost feel like a leaf that's drifting in the wind to something that's grounded. I feel like that's what I'm seeing here. Oh, and I love this because it is very much that way, isn't it? We have the Seven of Cups, how we start things. And there's, like I said, this is very much a daydreaming quality. There's a sense of flow. There's a sense that I keep, like, wow, I see lots of different pictures for you, like sort of like just floating around, not sure what to do. But then look how we ended. We have the Eight of Pentacles. There's a grounding energy here. Not only that, but I feel like developing of roots here. There's a sense of purpose. And I feel like that's what I'm seeing here for you. But you cannot, the thing that I think kind of will block you, and I feel like that is the worries. Like, you're like, because it is I feel like a big step here. You're releasing all that you've known to become something completely new, to become this warrior woman. And it's always there. It's a lot of motion. Look at that. There's a lot of warrior energy. But this is important too, because the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune here, which is sort of like, have faith, the Spirit is always guiding you. And I feel that that's what I'm seeing here. Not only is it guiding you, but it's also like helping you in like, as you move forward, as you drop this, I almost want to say the illusion, and become who you truly are. Again, very much a warrior energy here, pulling of the sword of the stone, which you're also pulling here. Look at that. Oh, really, like, I really like this reading. Sorry. Look, yes, I really do enjoy it. Everything I want to say, like, here with us, but I did want to go over this. So the eye of the beholder, it really is how you look at things. That's the thing that I have here. Eye of the beholder is for you. How you look at things, right? Not through the lens of worry, but through the lens of like listening to your heart here. This is how I'm seeing it as. Like, that's why the heart is so important here. It's because of that as well. You are a lot stronger than you're giving yourself credit for it. And you also have this beautiful bucket of paint, which is again sort of like you're painting your future. You're painting you. You are creating yourself. And Q apparently is an important thing. So if that's the question, you have the answers. Well, I hope you like this reading. If you feel like you want to, like I said, I'm doing this way. So if you want to see what the outcome of the other one is, but this for me is, you chose this for a reason. So follow through. You're, like I said, you're a lot stronger, and to me it feels this moving on is a purpose for you as well. So thank you for being here. It really does mean a lot to me. If you did like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. There are perks to it, like for example, you can vote on what the content is. You can enter into the subscriber personal reading giveaway, which if you haven't done so, go to the community tab. There's the January giveaway, or whatever month giveaway is. Just go check in the community tab and go scroll down and press, and then enter in the comments, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. I'm beyond honored and feel quite blessed that I was able to do this reading for you. Trust your instincts, trust your intuition, and always, really, always follow that heart of yours. You may not know what all of this is, but your heart will always guide you to the right thing. Thank you so much. Until I see you in the next one. Bye-bye, my dear friends. Friends from group 1. So this is if you are staying. If this was the card that kind of called you, or if something from this, we had the little sprout here, which sort of turned into an apple. So I feel like there's a sprouting here. There's if any of these things called you to it and you chose this path, this is for you to stay, my friend. And I'll tell you why or what will happen here. You also have the moon and Cancer. So, and you can also feel free to look at the if you go aspect and see this, because whatever it is, like, that's the important thing I have to say about this reading. It really is like your intuition guides you the best you can, and so this, I want this to be a confirmation, not a not a thing where you just I guess I just want it to be echoing your own intuition. And so I'm gonna look at this card here, and this to me is like, so this blooming here really calls me out here. And so when I look at this blooming, it's just like a sense of like, you can bloom where you are planted here. There's also a sense of like bloom. Like I feel like you don't have to go far, you don't have to, but you can bloom. It is a choice that you're making here as well, wherever you are here. And I do feel like that's an important thing here, because this is what I'm seeing here. There's a sense of feeling like you're trapped, like the 8 of Swords here, energy coming through. So I have the Warlock, which is to me like the devil energy a lot here. So I'm seeing these 2 cards, and I'm seeing like, it's interesting because I feel like you can free yourself. The songbird, it doesn't have to be you. There's like, again, there's a sense of, and look at how like gloomy this is. There's flowers here, but they're not shining. This is funny because it's a devil card, but it's also to me a little bit of the magician energy. It sort of makes me feel like there's a lot of like, you don't have to leave somewhere, right? You don't have to go somewhere, but you have to face, and this is why I'm thinking bloom where you're planted is okay there, because you have to face your own like, whatever this devil card is here. Because I do feel like I said, it's a devil card, and for me that's like bad habits that we have. For me, it could be, I have so many. I'm trying to work on them, I really am. Could be like procrastination here. It could be what else is there? Like negative thinking. And I feel like that you might be a bit of like, that might be something I feel like you have no control over your life. And I feel like that's this card here saying like, nope, you don't even have to move somewhere. You don't even have to leave somewhere to understand that you actually have more power than you think you do. With the Warlock here, like I said, there's the devil card, but to me it's also a sense of the magician here as well. So there is a sense of maybe having to, I would say, face your shadow. I really do feel like this. We need to face that shadow with that raven or crow there. It's sort of like, yes, and it feels like we have to let go of the past here with these like the skeleton right here. You can see the skeleton being here. Because you have like a lot of power, but you're like not. It sort of feels like you're trying to run away from something, but the problem is that you are trapping yourself. right? This is what I'm seeing here, and that's why for you, maybe staying here and facing this, like actually, the transformation can come without you leaving, and that's what I'm seeing here for you. Like, oh, and it's a little harsh, and I apologize if it does sound harsh, but I have the best intentions. It is not a criticism, because I've been here. And so this is not a criticism. It's not like, oh, you can, no, I get it. I've been in that songbird. In many ways, in many occasions, I still am. So I'm getting, like, I hear you. I understand this. And so sometimes we think that by moving on, that like physically moving or like shifting completely, that we're somehow going to escape this cage that we built for ourselves, but really it doesn't. Maybe the scenery changes, but the cage is still there. And so this is important for us. It's an important concept for us to think about, because this is where I think the strength comes in for you. Because like I said, you have the ability to change that devil into a magician energy. Oh, and I love that for you. I really would. We also have the kidding, you're kidding. Oh, I love this. And synchronistic events, yes. Coincidence magic, yeah, right here, right? Look at that. Door to the past, yep. And comfort, support, safety, and we have competition. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is that, yes, I love the raven there for you, because like I said, you have the ability, and I feel like it's really going to this door to the past. There's a sense of needing to clean out those skeletons. Whatever those skeletons are, we need to clean them out. The magic here, though, I want you to see, you are the magician here, which is so beautiful. I actually quite love ravens, because I feel like for you, it's the cleaning out the skeletons, the cleaning out of the whatever the past is holding you back. Like I said, you can't run away from the past, my friend. You can go somewhere, but if it's there, you're going to always be in that cage. And I feel like the songbird is letting us know that you're meant to be free. You're meant to like be shining and bright and and being like amazingly beautiful. Like that's the thing here. Oh, so beautiful. I'm excited for you. Really is this excitement that I can feel it here, because once you've moved past this, oh my goodness, there's a sense of competition here, right? And I'm gonna say this for you. I feel like the competition is really it may seem like it's an external thing, but the competition is really within yourself. I almost feel like you think, oh, other people have like this beautiful life, this like amazing life where everything is everything's working out for them all the time, and maybe maybe it might be true, but it's not really. I almost feel like this is an illusion of sorts. You sort of, I feel like that's. Yeah, that I really feel like that's what it is. It's sort of like an illusion of everybody has a better life than you do. No, they may just have a lot of like. I almost feel like there's a sense of you putting on a face there, and maybe you have like, I don't know, I want to say friends who too like do that, or friends or family who just like look at this. I've noticed that when most people are showing something off, like there's a insecurity there. People who are naturally just like don't need to like show off, just like they just are in a sense of happiness. They usually, yeah, if people are really happy, they don't show off. They don't feel that they need to have the validation of others, because it comes from within. That's the sense here, and that's what I feel like Spirit really wants you to see. You don't need external validations. You don't need the outside to shift and change. What really comes here is actually, this is an opportunity for shifting and changing yourself. Truly is looking into your shadow self, looking at the past. Whatever these skeletons are, you need to face them and I almost feel like integrate them and be like, okay, moving forward here. Comfort, safety, support. What I'm seeing here is that you also like, there's a lot more support than you have. There's a lot of like, I feel like there's, I always feel like there's like, you do have like animals here. I feel like there are spirit animals here watching over you. This feels like maybe past, ones that have passed on too. But I just feel like there's a sense of comfort, support, and safety also, but a sense of independence here, because cats are independent to a certain degree. I have cats that are not as independent, but that doesn't mean that especially, I want to say, sorry, like thought of different things, sorry, because I'm seeing default to me is always like as letting go of the past here. And as you let go of whatever those like skeletons, you have to bring them to light. I feel like that's something that you have to like let them, bring them to light, because you keep pushing them back. And I think that's what we have here. You got to bring them to the light. You have to see what that door to past that skeleton is, and you have to bring it to the light, and then finally like get the support and comfort that you're going to come through here, like after you do that. I'm also seeing that I love that you're going to be the magician instead of just being trapped. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We have this is sort of just came through here. They came all together. They just fell, and so this is important. They were in reversal when I picked them up, but I'm not going to follow that as how I'm going to do it, because I feel like that's not how we're going to play. Let me just get one more card for you. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. We have the Queen of Cups, and then we have the King of Cups. There's a lot of motion there. Two of Swords in the above, and Four of Cups below. So you're feeling stagnant, which we can already see. You feel trapped. You feel there's a fading fellowship. There's an apathy here. There's a sense of like, I really do feel like you think you're trapped. And I'm not, it's to say like, did you think you're trapped? I get that, because I often feel like, oh my goodness, you feel like you don't really have many options, but that's not true. I feel like you are, again, like I feel like a lot of negative thinking that's trapping you there in many ways. But I do like this a lot. Okay, so the moon coming through here, and you have the moon also here as well. Look, the moon is something, so possibly you're very good with moon magic, which is important here. But what I'm seeing here, and possibly water sign, because we do have Cancer here, and we do have this, the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. And so I'm going to say this a little bit here, sorry, because this is getting for me like a bit of a love reading here. Not that I'm saying all of them is, I'm just saying that there is a sense here for some of you of like I feel like you're feeling stuck. And with the Devil card, it could be with a specific person. And so maybe you're like, I have to move away. You have to like physically like leave. If I don't think you're in the relationship with this person, but you are still connected to them. And so you feel like you have to like actually maybe even cut cords and everything. And maybe that's something you can do. But the real thing here is that you are trapping yourself here. I feel like if you don't have to, it's sort of like, I feel like in choosing your own happiness and choosing to bloom, I really feel like that's the thing that I'm hearing. It's like, and facing those maybe finally facing that sense of, if you felt abandoned, if you felt hurt, if you felt all those things, that moon has to come out. It's sort of like, that's what I'm saying. You have to come out. You also have a lot of psychic ability here. Like this should, like, if this doesn't echo it, this, at least this part should, because I feel like you are very intuitive, very like, you know this. And so maybe that intuition is actually connecting you to this person. And it makes a lot of sense, right? But the shift and change is sort of like you think you're powerless, and that's I guess the message that I really want to say. You have more power. You have the strength here. You are really, really strong. I almost feel like you also have this ability to complete yourself. You don't need an external source here. You are both the masculine and the feminine here. So there is a sense of like you already balance yourself out here. For others of you, I do feel like if you let go of, so staying, for me, it's sort of like not running away from something is really what the staying for me is, sort of, because there's a need here. That's why it's important that you don't. It's a need here for you not to run away from something. And I feel that that's what you're calling to. It's like, I really want to run away, because you feel like that's how you're going to get out of your cage. But the cage is you. The cage is your thoughts. The cage is it's you created it. So even if you move somewhere, the scenery, like I said, will change, but you yourself haven't changed. And this is the calling here. If you can do this, if you can actually I feel like I really want to say it, the old skeletons out, if you can let your emotions finally really face them and finally see them and understand them, I almost want to say your strength will come. There's a sense of balance, a sense of peace that comes through here. The Four of Swords here is a sense of also resting. Maybe you've been pushing, you've been trying to force yourself somehow. You're forcing the situation, and it's not that. There's no force here that needs to happen. It really is more about allowing yourself. And look, you have a lot of fours here. You have the 4 here and the 4 here. So 4 is an important number, and it's, for me, taking action, inspired action. I really love that you have these two things, because I feel like for some of you, you're stuck in this person, but right here, there's an actual person who is your actual equal. And we're holding on to stuff and so when I say that, it's sort of almost like, I'm like, yes, you're staying, right? But you're, at the same time, the transformation happens, right, from within. Looking at your skeletons, you let them go, and boom, it's like you bloom, and then boom, that's when this person comes. I understand this a lot. I really do. It's like there's also a sense here of the 4 of Swords. There's a sense of healing. I keep feeling like you have to release the emotions. It's like you've held on to them so closely, so tightly, you didn't want to, that it's sort of affecting you. And the 2 of Swords, you think there is a choice here, but you already made the choice. And the choice is not even, it's like, yes, should you move on or should you stay? And it feels like the staying here is sort of like, even in staying, you're going to move on. But it's sort of not, like I said, not running away, but rather facing. That's what I feel like. That's what I'm seeing for you here. And the balancing of the Queen of Cups is sort of like this emotional maturity that comes. And I feel like once you faced the past, once you really released it, that maturity comes into place. That maturity comes into the power that is here. And then we have this King of Cups, which is also a sense of this nurturing energy. See, there's a lot of nourishment here as well. I feel like you aren't aware of it, maybe. And it's sort of like, what I'm seeing here with this is the sprout is growing. You're growing. I feel like you're almost like a part of you just wants to dig it up or let it die. But I feel like there's potential here for full bloom, for something really special here. And so that's why I'm like, no, don't go with this. But the Cancer, again, there's a sense of nourishment again too. It could be, for some of you, maybe this person is a Cancer, because it does feel like it's interesting. Or maybe for some of you, it's actually finally listening to your, because it does feel like a love reading. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm gonna do that. But I could see it also as this manifestation. You're starting to manifest the life that you want, and there's a sense here of maybe for some of you it's something creative, something where you creative, like writing or something like that. I could see it, but whatever it is, it feels like you were trying to run away from something, and that's not what we need. It's not, because you have the strength to just bloom here, and it's going to be quite lovely. The Six of Stars. Yeah, again, that's the past there. 6 of Cups for me again. Ancestral healing. Yep, we need to heal whatever those wounds are. It has a big thing here. And look, it's because we're starting to ascend. It's beautiful here because you have this. You have both this. And that's why I don't want you to, I almost feel like don't run away from this, because this is an important time here. There's a sense of healing here, and there's a sense of moving forward. You're blooming. You really are. Ah, so beautiful. And so we have here, we have Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. And so maybe for some of you, you're longing for a place to belong. And so what I'm going to tell you here is that the belonging is in you. I know it's like you want to, and here I am again. I'm not telling you what to do, and this is up to you whether you take it or not. But what I'm seeing here is like the cage will follow you even if you move, because you have to belong to yourself. This is a sense of healing here that needs to come through. And the beautiful thing is that you have the support, like keeper of earth. You're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you, and the ancestor they're trying to help you heal this. And the only way to heal is actually facing it. And that's what I have to say for you. It's sort of like, nope. you gotta face this, because we're gonna change that warlock into a magician. And that's what I'm seeing here. You can manifest the life you want where you are right now. You don't have to move. You don't have to like let go of this. You can, like, I that's what I'm like noticing here. So surrender your comparison with other people. So keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. And that's what I'm seeing here. Like, you keep comparing with this like competition. Yes, I feel like some people are trying to rub your nose into things and be like, look, I'm like, my life is so awesome. But first of all, if they have to do that, there's some, like, I feel like that just should be like a red flag for you. If somebody has to show off to you, it's like, that's a red flag always. If somebody's showing off, that's a red flag that there's something, like, they're not as confident, they're not as happy maybe as they pretend to be. And that's an important thing. So don't compare yourself to others, never. There's also a sense of like denial. So accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decision. And so here it is. Again, there's like a sense of decision coming through. But I feel like it's almost like, and I'm glad that it's here, because it's sort of like I think you're looking at it through this apathy. You're not looking at all the blessings that you do have. And it's sort of because of the Four of Cups there. It's sort of like you're not seeing all the blessings. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. And that is that Four of Swords energy. You need to rest. You need to heal. And the healing doesn't come from like running away. It comes from actually, like, I almost feel like releasing yourself from maybe like expectations that you think others have of you, or expectations that you have of yourself, that you're like, oh, I have to, like, I almost feel like you think you have to be perfect in some sort of way. And I feel like, no, that's not it. Perfection, there's no such thing, my friend. And it's a good thing that it isn't. I mean, like, I actually think things as I think people are more fun, and I think the life is more fun. Not that there's complications, but that there's layers to us all. I really do think that that's a blessing for all of us. So I don't know if you like this reading. I hope you do. If you do, please do consider giving it a thumbs up, and please do consider subscribing. Like I said, there's little perks. You can choose what the content is for the channel, and I love that part, joining part of the community. You could also get enter into the subscriber personal reading giveaway, which, if you haven't done so, go look at the community tab and in the comments in the giveaway for this month. Go right enter, and you'll be entered in the giveaway. Thank you so much. I feel so honored I was able to do this. I hope it helps a little. If it doesn't, I apologize. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you a giant hug, and until I see you in the next one, bye-bye, my dear friends. Friends from group 2, I am so happy you are here. Okay. So this is an interesting reading. I'm actually enjoying this quite a lot. So it's should you move on, or should you stay, or should you move on? And this could be in terms of love, it could be in terms of career, it could be in terms of school, it could be in terms of anything really, or a location, right? But so how I'm doing this is a little different. So so this one, you chose this one, and now here, this is for staying, and this is for going. These are going to be two piles that I want you to look at while I give you a little bit different, a little talk, and I also am going to put charms. Sorry if it's loud. Okay, so these are the charms for here. Sorry. And these are the charms for here. Okay. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. All right. So I'll show you everything. But what I want to talk to you about, actually, I guess, yeah, let's do it. I'll show you everything. So staying, going, right? I want you to see each card. I'll lift it up for you for a little bit. Right, so you can see it really clearly. Right, that's the hero card. I also want you to see we have the sun here. So you're going to choose based on if any of these things call for you. This is the star coming through. We have the little hot air balloon. You have the car movement. We have our neighbor Totoro. We have the bubble tea. We also have the sewing machine. Any of these things call you out, this might be your pile. W and V. Okay. And so this is the moving forward, and this is the staying. And look at the cards too. You can look at the cards. This is the staying. You have the puzzle piece. You have the I. You have the C. You have the E. Almost broken E. You have the O in the little dragon in love. You have the Y. You have there's another dragon. You have a lot of dragons. The dragon 20, like it's a coin. You have the cat, black cat. You have a top hat guy with the top monopoly looking guy, and then we have M. So these are two choices, and this is the other choice that you have. So this is for staying. So whichever card draws you to it, I want you to let's actually take a deep breath in. Close our eyes, and now as we exhale and open our eyes, I want you to choose whichever pile of these draws you to it. Going, staying. Okay, let's do this. No, okay, so you chose this card, and this is the going card, okay? But before we do this, let's look at the card, that illusion, that was the one that drew you in here. Ooh. So it's sort of like you're stepping away from delusion, embrace the truth, stepping away from like a mirror of some kind, maybe looking at things in a different perspective. Look, this is a bustling town here, and it looks in the dark, and here we have the sun, either sun rising or sun setting in a very secluded, maybe magical place right here. So I could see why you would choose. So this might be you're feeling like you're in your everyday life, and then here you're feeling like in something more magical, something that is, and that's the going. I feel like that's your aspect here of going. All right, you chose this hero, and we have the Whispering Hall. Oof. So I could see what, for me, there's maybe moving forward, is you're being called to move forward because you have this whispering hall where you feel like there's a sense of defeat, there's a sense of apathy, there's a sense of sadness for a lot of you. There's a sense of I want you to see the differences, because when you're here, you feel like you just feel stagnant, you're feeling sad, you're feeling this, but you feel like there's a calling for you. The hero is the calling. So I feel like you want to take back your power, is what I'm saying, and that's why you're wanting to move. You want to take back your power. You want to move, you want this clarity. You want to leave behind, I want to say, the mundane, and move into where you feel like there's going to be a little bit of magic and adventure for you. Wow, it's quite romantic. Quite I could see it. For some of you, it does feel like there's a sense here of could be love. I feel like This for me is like after a tower moment. This is the tower moment, where you're just like, it's not quite the because right after the tower is the star, and you're not at the star yet. You're starting to be at the star. You could see the star through moving, to moving forward, to moving on. I feel like, but you're still like, there's still this echo of the tower moment. Could be, like I said, abandonment. It could be like where you feel like something, like if you just felt like, to me it feels like there's a sense of failure of some kind. Not saying that you were, it's just the feeling that you have. It's sort of like, I could see the tower. I could also see the Ten of Swords energy here as well. And so you're looking down, there's no sense, but there's something at some sort of, there's a feeling that if you can move, you can move past this, there's a quest, there is a sense of magic, like I said, adventure coming through. I have the Serpent. Apathy, yep, that makes sense. Blush, femininity, and grace, and wisdom. Okay, so wisdom here comes through twice. With this, there's knowledge, and then there's wisdom, right? So what I'm seeing here in the Serpent, so it's also healing. Like I said, there is a sense here of this like apathy, but there's a sense of even though there is a sense of apathy and there's a sense of like there's sadness, there's still a sense of longing for I almost feel like you almost want it to be before the tower moment, but the tower moment happened, or the Ten of Swords happened. But I feel like Spirit, this is what Spirit wants you to do. They want you to move forward because, like I said, after the tower is the star, right? It's the hope. It's the we're building up. After the Ten of Swords is when we get to the Page of Swords, and that's the wisdom, the knowledge, the learning, your beginning here. And so I can see that there's a lot of I can see that the healing allows the healing will allow you to gain wisdom from whatever it is that happened. It is there's a sense of innocent grace, femininity, and with there I almost feel like there's a sense of like new beginnings, because to me the baby is like a sense of new beginnings. Like it almost feels like a new chance of some kind. That's what I'm seeing here. I could see where you would do it. There's a lot of motion that can come through here because of that. We have the car. You're needing for some space. I almost feel like this moving forward is a sense of also giving you a sense of healing that you've been needing. Letting go of the past physically. Yeah, Five of Swords. We have the Five of Swords. At the Ten of Spears. Eight of Spears and Nine of Shields. Okay, one more. Ace of Spears, I love this, yeah. Okay, Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Temperance at the top. Okay. And so there is a sense here of giving yourself time, healing, patience. I think you need to have patience with yourself here as well. Even if you move, which I think, like if you move forward, which I feel like that is what I'm seeing here for you, which you're making, like, basically this should just be a confirmation for you of some kind. Yeah, you're moving forward, but there's a sense of also giving yourself time to heal. That's what I'm seeing here. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done. There's a Ten of Spears, letting go, like, but I look at this. We do have the 10, but then we have the Ace. It's sort of like you're ready to move forward to a whole new, to a new adventure, I want to say. There's a sense here with this Nine of Shields, which I love, because Nine of Shields is a sense of independence. But I want you to see this particular, the Nine of Shields here is sort of like the old, like the how do I call it, the mythology, the story behind this is that there's during the day, this Ragnell is like an old maid, right? Looks like an old maid, but at night, she's a young beauty, because that's really her age. I think that was some sort of curse or something. but I'm looking at it as sort of like releasing the old and really letting this brand new you, like this very, with the Nine of Shields and Nine of Pentacles, this very independent, very sexy you coming through here. It does feel to me like, see, I could see this as being like a love reading here, but I could also see it as sort of like the disappointment of like what you feel is a failed attempt at something. We also have a sense here, I'm going to say, with the Five of Swords, it's interesting because the Five of Swords to me has different things. Sometimes it could be that our ego, and I want to like talk, our ego got away from us, right? Our ego and this thing, we can always go at it alone. And then I'm not saying that, yes, we can't, but it's sort of like the ego that's leading the path that led us to where we are with that Whispering Hall, the ego of some kind. And it also feels like the ego of taking too much on with this Ten of Spears. It's sort of like you felt like you had to do everything. And so I can, like I said, I could totally see this in terms of like a love reading, right? But I could also totally see this as, yeah, like as like some sort of project, maybe work or whatever it is, or the ego where you're like, I have to do everything. And so maybe you were saying yes to a lot of people, which kind of like, if we extend ourselves out again, especially when we act from the place of ego. I believe me, I get you. I've been there like that. When my ego takes over, there's always like, I'm like, oh, that was because of the ego. Yeah, and I get it. So I'm seeing here, this is what but you're ready to move on from this. I feel like that's what it is. This is to me the past. This is the Whispering Hall. Where you feel, but you're ready to move on from this. And this is the beauty of this. This is why you're choosing this. You're ready to move on. You're ready to, I almost feel like, very much be independent. And that's what I like. There's a sense of confidence coming through, but it's also a sense of really coming to being who you are, in a sense. This beauty, like letting go of shedding the old skin is what I'm seeing here. And it makes a lot of sense because we do have that serpent there. It's like shedding of the old skin, movement forward, fast movement forward that leads to this leads to this Ace of Spears, which to me is a beginning of some kind, maybe for especially creativity, for passion of some kind. But there is also a sense of heeding the not the warning, but the importance of time. As there's importance of healing and letting times come through here. There's with the Knight of Cups. It's again, this is actually, yeah, could be definitely like love. Maybe somebody will be bringing you new love coming through. But for me, it's also like a sense of healing, like a sense of actually expressing your feelings of like, it's having that cup and being willing to offer it again. And so it's sort of like, if a project like didn't pan out, if like something you didn't pan out, like if the job was like, if it didn't go right or something, I almost feel like you're beating yourself up about it. But really what it is sort of like, it was maybe it was a humbling thing to let you know, but it's sort of like there's an opportunity here as well. It's sort of like it's basically telling me not for you to just give up and have this thing, but rather to be ready to move forward with almost feel like your heart right there leading the way, which is a little similar to group one in one way, but another in a totally different way. It's sort of like this, to me, the Knight of Cups is like letting emotions lead you here, but not like negative emotions, not ego, but really the higher self coming through. Oof, I really like this. I'm really enjoying this reading because it's sort of like, wow. Okay. Face your fears, my friends. Yeah. So it is time to face your fears. And for me, the fear is really, I really think it's the ego a little bit that got us into this place. Why I say that is that Five of Swords. It's sort of like a hollow victory. It's sort of like when we win, but we don't really win. And so it's sort of what I'm seeing here for you. It's sort of like, and why I'm saying move forward and move on, because I feel like this Galahad is sort of like telling us, go forward, go with your heart, you have like a very, like, I want to say a gentle heart, a tenderness to you. And so, but you could also feel like you want to I don't want to say hermit because it doesn't feel like the hermit. It's sort of like you want to go back into sort of like a cage, but not a cage. It's sort of like you want to go within yourself, but Spirit's saying like, no, we need to move forward. We are moving forward, and that's what I'm seeing. So you got to face that fear of moving forward. Yeah, because you do have a purpose. Oh, I like this. And look, it's even telling you you're on the right path, my friends. Yeah, you are. There's a purpose. I always think that there is also always a purpose for all the things that happen to us. So whatever this Tower moment or 10 of Swords energy is there, or even 5 of Swords, but for me, that's what led to this, actually. So whatever that is, it's sort of like there was a purpose for that. I know it's not like something. It's also a sense of like, and I'm glad the star was here. So this is definitely the star. Here, there's some sense of healing. There's a sense of needing to mend. That's what I wanted to say here. And I feel like this again, sort of like this also reminds me. You have the Ace of Wands, but it's also to me like an Ace of Cups with this Galahad. It's sort of for me the Galahad, like it's the offering. It's the offering of the full cup. Your heart, not to move forward. This again, this to me represents adventure, and it feels like you are ready for a new adventure. And with the Libra to Taurus, I also feel like that you're not alone, and that there is a sense coming through of adventure. And so that's why I'm like, yes, move on, my friend, move on. Yep, look at this. It says deep replenishment, repeat, rest. Okay, retreat, rest, be held. There's a sense of needing that healing, and the only way I feel like it's actually like, I actually think you have to like move a little bit, align your life. What is not aligned and or needs change, and so that to me feels like that's what you're moving forward to. Something in the past was not aligned. That's the whispering things. Ooh. Love this. The ever unfolding rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you. It's happening for you, not to you. And that's the thing that I really like that one. Oh, I like that one a lot. And so I think that's what it is. And that's why I'm like, you can move on now, because it's sort of like you're ready to move past this, to move to the new adventure, to step out of the mundane into the magical. I really like that for you. Surrender fear. Yeah, we have to surrender the fear here. Let go of fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solution, and celebrate every baby step forward. And I can see that what it is. And sorry, that didn't make a lot of, but what I'm saying is like, yes, you are like the fear of, I almost feel like there's a fear of making mistakes again, the fear of going through this again. But I feel like, no, Spirit is saying like, take up the sword, take up the hero quest. Surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup, and you may approach the situation more calmly. And yeah, I could see that as well. So for me, it's sort of like you moving on. It's like letting go of whatever, like this tower. It's sort of like you've been living there for a long time. Probably that's why you were like, oh, and maybe like, yes, the moving forward is sort of like, let that drop, let that go, step out of the mundane, like whatever this is, and into the magic. Really, it is. That's sort of like what I'm getting for you a lot. And I love that you have the sun, because once you stepped in there, there's the sense of joy, happiness. But I feel like you keep living in this whispering hall. You keep living in that moment. I feel like it's almost like you keep living in the abandonment, or you keep living in what you consider a failure, or you keep living in like mistakes that you made. You keep living in that moment, and Spirit saying like, no, we have to move forward. You gotta move forward. You gotta be the warrior you are, the hero that you are. Oh, I really like this. I hope you liked this reading. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and do please consider subscribing. Just And check out the community tab. There's a lot of stuff there. You can vote on what the content is going to be. You could also enter in the subscriber personal reading giveaway. And sometimes I just have little fun bits there as well. So thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you a giant hug. And until I see you in the next one, bye-bye, my dear friends. Friends from group 2. So you chose this one, which is staying. You chose this. Oh, this. I really do like it. So I'm going to put all these guys over here and we'll talk about them as we go through the reading. These are just, I would say, ice maybe. Sorry, I sometimes just like, or mice. You have these guys, you have the little dragon in love. You also, we did say that you have a lot of like dragon energy here. So for some of you, that's important puzzle piece. Okay, so let's look at all this. But before we do, let's look at this one. So you chose the illusion. So embrace the truth. And so we see a magical mirror here. And it's almost like, what is the truth between these two images? Is this the truth? Is this the hustle and bustle of the truth? Or is this sunset and magical setting here? I almost feel like this is what I'm seeing. It's sort of like the perception is really what's it about here for you. So how are you perceiving your current situation in terms of like, because this is the for you for staying. What I'm saying here is that there is a sense of needing healing here, but there's also a sense of opportunity where you are currently at. There's a sense of having this sense of bliss, but possibly forgetting it, possibly looking really, and that makes a lot of sense. We're looking at the bad aspects of things rather than the magical things, rather than looking at the beauty of things. There's potential here where you are at, where there is a sense of happiness and longing and belonging, actually. So interesting to me. But it comes from within, and sort of, I guess, it's sort of like a recurring theme for staying here. So I have the look at the sun. Enjoy success and happiness. You can enjoy success and happiness by staying here. We also have envy. We have divine masculine, and we have destiny. Ooh, that's a very strong, look at that strong statement coming through for you, my friends. Whew. So there's a sense here of destiny coming through here. There's a sense, like I said, you can be very happy where you are. What I'm really looking at is why you're not. So like staying, there's a sense of happiness here. There's a sense of bliss. The sun is also bliss. There's enjoy, happiness. Staying here is good. There's even a sense of destiny here that is coming through for you. Divine masculine. Maybe there's a need for taking action. There's a need for actual like, that's actually making me a bit hungry, but yeah, it's a sense of the action needs to be taken here with the envy here. Now the envy could be that other people are envious of you, or if you're looking at other people's and maybe comparing yourself to them, there might be a sense of envy here. I do feel for me though, it's somebody else is envious. I'm gonna be honest. It feels like somebody else is envious. Maybe they're how do I say it? Envy is an interesting emotion, because that sort of like we are wishing upon something that we cannot have, or we can have but are not allowing ourselves to have it. So maybe that's something. There might be somebody out there who's like envious of you. Oh, okay. And then I want you to, and that's good. I'm glad Spirit said that. And if there are envious of you, if you were to step back from, I guess, because sometimes we are so caught up in, like I said, noticing all the flaws that we forget to look at the whole beautiful picture, beautiful, magical picture. And so I see that that's sort of what I'm also here. So if we were to have somebody who is envious of us, why would that be? Like, I like, what could somebody envy of you, right? And so I'm not saying that's a great feeling, but I'm just saying that there is a sense here of not acknowledging something that you have. You're not acknowledging something here. And it's almost like I could almost see like you're seeing there's even the divine masculine, sort of like you're seeing the dark here, but not the light, not the colors, but just only the bad parts here. And so Spirit is saying like, no, there's something quite magical here for you. You just have to look at it correctly. Like you have to just see it for real. Change your glasses maybe. Queen of Swords, that might be somebody here. Let's see what other comes through. Five of Shield. Okay, wow, look at that. I didn't want this many cards, but sometimes that's what I get. Like Nine of Cups, Six of Swords, Three of Cups, and Two of Spears. Okay. There's a lot of energy here. I'm gonna leave it there, here, this way. I'll show you what we'll do. At the bottom is you have the Ace of Spears, and then the top is the Chariot, or movement forward. And so even though if you are, like what I'm saying is like, if you stay, or you move on, or like stay, it's sort of, even if you stay, there is motion here. There's also like a potential for a new, maybe, for some of you, because it's sort of funny, because a lot of it feels like a love reading a little bit, but then there's other elements as well, because it is a general reading. But for some of you, I feel like there might be a reconciliation for some of you. Okay, so let's go with that, because that's a strong one, because I did say there's a sense of envy. There is a sense of, I didn't want to really go into it, because I'm like, oh, is this not supposed to be a love reading? But it could be. So, and it feels like it kind of is, because I do feel like there's an energy here of somebody else. And like I said, there's a sense of envy, and it could be this Queen of Swords, because I don't know. It's not to say that you're not a Queen of Swords, but I feel like that's not what you are. Sorry. Like, I love Queen of Swords, because this Queen of Swords is not the Queen of Swords that I usually like. I love like very strong Queen of Swords. This is a manipulative Queen of Swords that I'm like, sort of seems that this was like the, and it could be, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be in terms of romance, because I could also see it as somebody who's jealous of you at work, or I could see somebody jealous of you of at like friend, like your friends or school or whatever it is. It's somebody who's jealous of you. There's a sense of like I'm always like a bit afraid of envy and jealousy, because sometimes that energy can, and this person can be like, like not sending you good vibes. Okay, that's what we're gonna say. Not sending you the best vibes there. But this person shouldn't matter. I almost feel like, even though we have that Five of Shields, Five of Pentacles. So maybe for some of you, you actually felt like there was a sense here of like, maybe there's a sense of scarcity. There's a sense of not having enough. And I feel like not having enough money, which is something that I want to say, that you have the potential to make money where you are right there, because we have that. That's a coin right there. That's a dragon coin. And dragons have a lot of strength, and I feel like there's that sense for you. I also feel like you're probably very much protected by dragons for some of you, but I feel like for a lot of you. Okay, so the wasteland here with the Five of Shields, I feel like you're feeling scarcity at some level, whether it's material, whether it's love, whether it's spiritual, but just there's a sense of scarcity. And I feel like maybe either somebody rubs it in your face, or somebody is quite happy that you are that way. I apologize. I don't like, I could see sometimes we have this envy. Other people have envy. But anyways, that's not the important one. The important one comes here of the Nine of Cups. There's a sense of like wish fulfillment. If you stay, there's a sense of wish fulfillment here. The sense of overcoming this scarcity. You're moving forward from scarcity to to like, oh, look at this, and there's motion here with the Chariot, and there's motion here with the Six of Swords. So there's a sense of moving forward, wish fulfillment, moving forward. Three of Cups, happiness, joy here. And like I said, for some of you it could be reconciliation. It just feels like that for some of you, but it also could be finally, instead of having like, I almost want to say like a false friend, having real true friends here with this. Three of Cups, real, like, I feel like if you're looking for a place to belong, you can belong here. It's sort of like, I don't know where this Nine of Cups is coming, but there's some sort of wish fulfillment that's coming through here that comes after the scarcity, that comes after this. Maybe you've been really praying. Maybe it's sort of like a wish fulfillment that finally comes through here. And then we have this Two of Spears. So to me, it also is a sense of choosing a different path, that even if you stay, you can still like do different things. It's sort of like, I almost feel like choosing to look at things, like I said, in a different perspective. Because I think right now you're looking at everything through scarcity. You're looking at your the scope of your life through scarcity. And if you look at it through scarcity, that's all you're going to notice it. You're going to notice scarcity in every way. You're going to notice abandonment. Maybe you're like, not enough love. You're like, not enough money. And if you keep looking at it, that's what you're going to get. But I feel like this is the big thing here is that Spirit is saying that I almost feel like if you can shift that perspective, if you can shift that the glass and actually start to see the wish fulfillment, that could see that where you have, because there is bliss, there is the sun, there's joy around you, there's like prosperity around you. It's sort of and there's like a sense of destiny here too. There's like, again, look, the chariot, there's a movement here. It is almost like you're being called to, like, if you can notice this thing, it's sort of like your thoughts and your reality shift and change. And then you start moving towards things that you actually do love. And then we have this, like, I almost feel like a beginning, that's like the phoenix rising to me, but it's sort of like a regeneration of some kind with that Ace of Wands there. Oof. Yeah, so I want to say, like, looking at things, like, and this is perfect, looking at things through the lens of abundance really comes into here. You also have the sense of looking at things through the sense of, like, the lens of love. I do like this. Okay, let's see what other things are coming through. Inner flow and cycles. There is flows and cycles. I feel like there is a sense of that we feel sometimes we're that a bit like, and this is good because I want to say sometimes we feel like scarcity is always going to be there. And I feel like if we can realize that there is an ebb and flow to it, sometimes everything's just going to always, like, practice gratitude. Yes, very important. How do I say it? I almost want to say to you this. You've planted the seeds, right? You planted the seeds, you've planted the stuff, but it's going to take a while for you to see the growth. And so that the fact that you're not seeing the growth doesn't mean that the seeds are not growing. I hope that makes sense. Sort of what I'm getting here. And just be careful of this envy of others. There's like painful life lessons too, might be. I don't feel like there's like, the painful life lessons is really, for me, like, painful lessons is more like not acknowledging the gratitude, not practicing this gratitude. You have a lot. There's so much. It's there, and you're thinking that, like I said, you keep thinking that seed isn't growing, but it is. Just give it some time, I would say. Hope that makes sense. Leap. Go first. The universe will catch up. So there's a sense of, isn't it interesting to believe in so instead of moving, instead of, like, it says move, it says stay where you are, in a sense, right? So we're saying, like, do we stay or do we move on? And I feel like where you are is good, and that's the leap of actually but it's seeing the potential in this, seeing what you already have. There is I could feel it, like there's a lot of beautiful things in your life that maybe you're not acknowledging, and that's what you need to do. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Okay, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Okay, that's something that's important too. So it's a life where, and that's, that goes really well with that planting of the seed, because it's sort of like, you want it instantaneously, and that's not going to happen because it takes time. So, but if you look at everything through the scope of not just momentarily, right? If you just, you look at it through the sense of scarcity, which is also like a minute, like a minute, because it is here with the inner flow and cycles. It's just like you're looking at this, but you're not looking at the grander scope where there is abundance. I really feel that that's something that's for you. Let's see what other things are coming here. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty, devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. And so that's probably you, but it's also a sense of, like I said, you're moving away from I feel like you will naturally move away from whatever this envy person is. This Queen of Swords energy. To this Three of Cups, there's a sense of connecting with your sisterhood of the Rose, right? Yes, I like this. Okay. So you don't have to go. I feel like there's so much potential where you are, wherever you are, even if it's like, it might even like, it's for some of you, for some of you, I feel like it is romance based. And so negative. Okay. So for me, it's sort of like, if that is, let's say a connection, it could be definitely that you're not together because of the 5. But there was like, I feel like there was an outside influence that happened here, right? And then what I'm seeing here is if you actually look at it, because I feel like there's something valuable in this connection. So if you can look at it, maybe even take a break, walk away from like trying to solve something. Instead, look at the beauty that's all around you. I feel like it naturally will just, things will just clear up by themselves. I hope that makes sense. Oh, wow, yeah. Two things that I'm just like, I'm going to put this one here for surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dream. And so this for me is sort of like, you don't have to like walk away from something. It's that you have to shift your perspective of it. You're open to the infinite nature of abundance. And then the blocks removed. Here we have defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Where is this coming from? Like, because again, I always think that we have defensiveness when anybody triggers us in any way. It is because we at some level believe that what they're saying is true. And it's also telling us something about ourselves. Very, like, much more so than about them. Like, this is actually telling us what is our triggers? What is it that we're believing? Maybe it's a belief about scarcity. Maybe it's a belief that we don't think we are enough in some way. Surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. And I want to say, like, because I always see this, I'm like, yes, if it were only that simple. That's like, and I know it's this because it's sort of like the scarcity, and it's sort of like, but it's really is, I want, and I'm glad we have this practice gratitude, because it is a sense of, like, what I'm noticing here is the negative thinking is, it's actually, if we can actually see the abundance that you already have, and maybe even writing all down, that's important coming through here. To me, there's this sense of secrets coming out too. This is sort of like that Queen of Swords energy coming out. I feel like if this person has played a role in any way, it'll come out. So not to worry. I feel like and that's what's coming with this puzzle piece that comes out too. So I don't feel like you need to, like I said, this is for you not to give up. This is really for you to actually shift your perspective of things, because there is a lot of abundance, a lot of joy already where you are. Like, it's available to you right now. You don't need to shift or like move on. It's sort of like, if you can just see it, if you can just focus on it, you'll see, wow, there'll be like a really lot of wish fulfillment coming for you. So I hope you liked this reading. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and please do consider subscribing and join our community. Go check out our community, like my community tab, and like see all the fun things. You can vote on what the content is. You can also enter for the personal reading giveaway. So there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll throw little things in there as well. So thank you so much. I am sending you a giant hug, and until I see you in the next one, goodbye, my dear friends. Hello, my friends from group 3. So, okay. So this is going to be a little bit of a different reading. So this is the card you chose, but now after that, there's going to be for you to choose another. So this is your pile for moving on, and this is your pile for, staying where you are, or not moving on. So I want you to see, I want to show you the card. We have this is the card we have there, and then we also have these charms that might help you choose the pile as well. We also have B, we have F, we have Cancer here, we have the owl, we have N, we have the little I love art here too. This might be helping you. All these things are supposed to help you figure this, which pile is for you. And then we have the little heart there, and that's if you're moving forward. This one's if you are staying, not moving, or moving on. This is for do you do what you love? We have that. We also have R, we have L, we have B, we have the moon dice. Oh. We also have I will hold you in my heart until I hold you in heaven. That's another thing. We also have Pisces here. We have the little, I don't know what to call it. Sort of that crystal thingy. And we also have this. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. Close your eyes. Oh, and we also have this as the card. So sorry about that. So let's go ahead. Take a deep breath in, close our eyes, and choose whichever pile draws you to it. All right, let's do this. Okay. Hello, group 3. Okay, so you chose this one, group 3, who chose the moving on. So whatever it is that called you to it, I'm going to put all the little charms and we'll talk about them as we go through the reading. But so basically the way I wanted this to be is sort of like I always feel like we have an intuition. It always guides us to the choice that we want to really make. So what I want this to be is sort of like a confirmation. It just echoes something that already is there. Or it gives you the signs you've been looking for. So originality, blaze your own trail. Whew. That's the beautiful thing. You could actually say, oh, I like this one. If you actually see that there's seasons, there's also different elements. There's the ocean. These are the fall leaves. We also have the rainbow. We have the winter here. We have the night. Oof. So we have all the different seasons. And so what I'm seeing here for you is that there's a sense of, this might be a shifting and changing of seasons for you. And with the elder there, it's almost, to me, it's also and you even have here the leaves falling. It's sort of what it feels like to me is sort of you're moving on not because you're unhappy, but rather because it's the next step in your evolution, if that makes sense, right? There's a sense of the season, you're coming out of a different season. I feel like you have the fall and you also have the winter, which is nice here. And the elder is also you've learned some sort of lessons, right? And now you're ready to move on to something new. It's a lot of, it might also have something to do also with past loved ones that are guiding you through here. As you make your way, I feel like it's almost like you're making your way in life in some way. We have the hawk. We have the secrets. Okay. We have integrity, and we have priorities. Okay. So hawk, omens, messages, definitely. I could see that you could probably be getting messages from past loved ones in dreams. That's also something coming through here. I do feel like the secrets too. So the hawk looks at things through a very like a larger picture. It's not what is like, I mostly feel like needing to look at the bigger picture in your life is important. The secrets here, I feel like there's knowledge that you're needing to find out, and maybe leaving and moving on to something else is sort of the only way for you to uncover this. There's a sense of maybe you feel like you've already, you don't belong where you are right now. Could be like maybe you've already, I feel like if you're in like what you call a stale relationship, you're like, okay, like needing to not, like you don't want to stay like or work that you feel like you've outgrown. It's basically, for me, it's like you've outgrown wherever you are, and that's sort of the feeling that I am. And it's sort of like you need to like learn the secrets. For me, it's sort of like needing to learn more new things for you. Integrity is actually being honest with this decision, right? If it's not working out for you, it's accepting that and going through it with this integrity. That's sort of, I almost feel like really listening to your heart here and having the integrity to not like, if you don't really, the work isn't for you anymore, if you're not in, like your heart isn't in the relationship anymore, rather than holding on to like the sense of like, okay, you know, like instead of like kind of bringing something along, right, you just kind of go like, okay, no, this isn't me anymore, right? And having that integrity. And then the priorities here is again like from a higher perspective, it's sort of your priorities might have changed. And if your priorities have changed, then I almost feel like Spirit saying like having the responsibility, having the integrity, having the I want to say the strength of making that decision, of actually expressing it. So I feel like you've already made that decision for yourself. You're just needing the confirmation of it, I must say. And I really do think that there is a sense of wisdom needing. You're also a person who has a connection with birds. I can tell that as well. So maybe, and it also feels like if, like, because I could see that maybe you're looking into like, for let's say maybe learning more about being psychic, maybe learning more about tarot or like candles or magic or something like that, because I feel like that's, or connecting to that, it just feels like almost like a high priestess energy is what I'm seeing here. If you're connecting to that and you're sort of like, other things are not no longer what you're really interested in, being honest with that, or with others as well. It could be friendships that you're letting go. It could just be like, okay, this is what I used to do, was what I wanted to do, but now I'm going to do something else. Maybe art is where it's at. See, the Strength card came out in reverse. We also have the Four of Cups. We have the King of Cups. We have the Five of Cups. There's a lot of cup energy here. Six of Spears and the Fool. Okay, yeah. Seven of Swords. Eight of Shields. Okay. So what I'm seeing here, okay, how do I want to say it? So let's say you've already made your decision, maybe, or in your heart. I really feel like this, to me, is like really a lot about your heart. Your heart is maybe not in whatever it is, whether it's a connection, whether it's a job or something. Your heart is no longer in it. It's almost like you have the Seven of Swords energy here, because you're like hiding. You're pretending in some sort of way. But people know. Like if your heart is not in a connection, people know. If your heart is not in the job or the work or like the career or whatever it is, or if your heart is just not where it is anymore, because you've outgrown something. Because I really do feel like there's a sense of growth here that's moving. And and you're just staying because maybe you feel like you're going to hurt somebody, or like it really does feel like it's like you're going to hurt somebody. It's sort of like you're being dishonest to yourself, and you're also it'll hurt the other person in the long run, is what I'm seeing here too. And it'll hurt, like, if you're like, oh, but this job really, like, like, they need me, but if your heart isn't really in whatever it is that you're doing, it's not really, you're not there anymore. That's what I'm seeing. It's like you're not there. It's sort of like you're looking out into the other thing, and there's a sense of sadness. There's a sense of like, there's a sense of sadness. There's also a sense of apathy here with this Four of Cups. And the Strength card in reverse to me feels like you're not, you're a lot stronger. You have the strength, but you're sort of like pushing it away. I feel like you're using, like, oh, I don't want to hurt others. I don't want to like make it difficult in some way. But if your heart, and I really keep saying this, I'm sorry I keep harping at you, if your heart isn't in it, the longer you're trying to pretend of something that isn't, if you don't feel it anymore, we can't hide it. This is always one of those things that I have. It's like truth will, regardless of what it is, the truth will always come out. We can try to stuff it as much as we can. People try to like, whether they try to do it on purpose or not, like the truth will come out. Lies, it just is. It's sort of like light. It sort of will just always light. It's come out. So even if you're like, no, it's like if you've moved on, if you're no longer satisfied, or if something, because it feels like you're stifled, but you're not letting yourself, like, you're not letting, like, for whatever reason, you're like, oh, it could be that I really do feel like you feel a pain for like causing others pain. Like you feel like you're going to hurt others, and like, but you're hurting them by not being honest, in a sense. Not being honest, you're hurting yourself, but you're also hurting others. You're hurting your sense here, and that's why I'm saying, like, no, it's time for you to move on, because that's where the true here. You have the full journey. You're like you wanting to begin again, and have this confidence in it. I feel like a sort of also, maybe this is also a little bit of a fear, where you're like, you're a little bit afraid of, because it's the unknown for you in many ways. But I feel like you're a lot stronger than you know, and you can face that. The King of Cups here for me is sort of like, it is sort of having this maturity in emotions, and being willing to, like, I really want to say, being honest with your emotions in its things, and in that honesty is actually taking action forward with it as well. The Eight of Shields, Eight of Pentacles, it's sort of like, it's so funny, because when I saw this Eight of Shields before, there was a joy to it. There was a sense of accomplishment. But here it feels like you're just toiling away at something that isn't really, like, this face in a different reading, it was like sort of excitement. In this face here, it looks like you're just doing it. You're just going through the motions, but your heart isn't in it. And it's sort of like, no, you have to, a spirit saying, like, you have to, if your heart isn't in it anymore, you need to move forward. That's what I'm seeing here. That's why it's telling you need to move on. You gotta, like, I love art. Whatever it is that you're loving, whatever it is that thing, like, even you can, and here we even have, like, I feel like this is, let's look at it. We are looking at what could be a dragonfly. Actually, I feel like there's almost a, to me it seems like it's a firefly. Oh, I love fireflies. Okay, so firefly. It's just natural for you to light up. I can see this. Also, look at this. Originality. Blaze your own trail. And so I feel like that's something else for you. You just light up, but you're done with this. I feel like this for me is an end of a cycle for you. So yeah, it's time for you to move on. I know, I can hear why it's sort of like, yep, deep healing. But to me, it's sort of like shadow work. So maybe that's sort of looking at this. So maybe you need the deep healing. You need to move forward, because I don't know what it is. For me, it's just I really just don't feel like your heart is in whatever it is that this question pertains. But there is maybe because there is a sense of like wanting to just stick it out, because there's a sense of fear. So maybe deep healing that needs to go work on the shadow work of like what you are afraid of, and like, yeah, boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? That's interesting. Trust the niggle. And so, like, what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? It's trying to tell you need to move on. Or at least this is what this reading is all about. The boundaries for me, it's also like a sense of, you're okay, because I can definitely feel it. You're definitely an empath. So I feel like your heart isn't in it anymore, but you don't, like, I really feel like a lot of, like, is that you just don't want to hurt somebody. And I like really have to, like, even if, or you don't want to hurt, like, maybe work, it's like something you worry about others. I understand it, but you're not helping them really. By denying yourself your own desire, you're not helping them, because they can feel that you're not there anymore. They can feel that you don't like the job, or that you're not really in the connection anymore. Whatever it is, they can feel it. And so it almost feels like these boundaries is accepting, like, though they're them, and then that you are you, and then sort of allowing yourself. I'm gonna to be a little bit here of like, you don't want to disappoint others, but why is it? But you're disappointing them anyways, in a sense, but you're also disappointing yourself. Why is it that your happiness isn't a priority for you? That's what I want to say there. It's a little bit of shadow work for you for that one. The age of light. You've been training for this for a lifetime. And it really does feel to me like you're being called for something else, and there's a reason for it. Yeah, I could like totally see empaths. I can see empaths, and I'm like, yeah, maybe this is where you're headed. I'm not saying it's easy. Surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas of how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Yes. For some of you, you're definitely like a water element here with that Cancer. Nurturing. It's because you're nurturing. You're just this loving person. I get it. I really do. I understand. Surrender to your soul's path. But I have to say, it's sort of like denying yourself isn't the way either. Surrender to your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. I can't be anymore. And surrender to intuition, because you haven't been. It's your intuition is guiding you. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashing knowings, aha moments that come through to guide you. Yeah. Oh, this is such a strong reading. I really I get you. It's because I can feel the love that you have. You're such a lovely person. I can feel the light in you. But it's not helping in terms of like putting the mask, putting on the stuff, putting the Seven of Swords. It's almost like you're not acknowledging something, but people can already see it, because we always show, whether we know it or not, like, especially because you are like a light worker, probably are like always emanating. If you're enjoying something, you light up a room. If you're not, which is what I feel like you are right now, your light dims and people can feel the difference. I hope that makes sense. I hope you like this reading. I really do. I enjoy doing it. But if you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and please do consider subscribing. Join our community. It's a lot of fun. Go check out the community tab if you have, if you can. There's you get to vote on what the content is. This was a like highly voted content, so you get to choose the content. You also get to enter into the personal reading giveaway. That's a monthly thing, so you could do that as well. I do little fun things there as well. So thank you so much for being here. I feel very honored, and you are awesome. Till I see you in the next one. Bye bye, my dear friends. My friends from group 3. Okay, so you chose the stay card. We'll see what it all means. So we have do what you love, and that's an important thing. I almost feel like you're also to me it's sort of like you're working towards something. Like it's not, the outcome isn't quite there yet. You're not a full moon yet. But there is time. You also have probably water element, Pisces, daydreamer. Oh, very high intuition. And I will hold you in my heart until I hold you in heaven. There could be your ancestors might be guiding you, or it could be this is all about love. Something I feel like there's a sense of possibly like maybe sharp words, writing some sort of with some sort of healing of some kind. Fixing, you have L and R, L, R, and B. L, R, and B. Okay, so we have all those things. So we have this originality. Blaze your own trail. Oh, what is really calling me here again is the moon. It's sort of like why I feel like, how do I say it? Not to move, like it says to move on or to stay where you, I feel like because there's a sense of incompletion here. I feel like the moon is getting there, but it's not fully there. And so I feel like you're not ready to, not to move on, not because of anything, but rather because there's still something that needs to be done here. That makes sense to you? I hope that does. We also have the lighthouse. So, which, you know, the lighthouse came, I think that's what I'm seeing here. There's almost like you are in a boat and you're getting closer to your destination. I feel like that is, but it's funny because the lighthouse is also could be where it's the most treacherous in a sense. There's a lot of like, you could easily go into the land where you don't want here. And so I feel like what the message is that you're almost at the finish line, so don't quit. And so that's what I'm seeing here. It's like you're almost at the finish line. You're almost there at the finish line. Don't quit. Yes, it will be hard. I almost want to say it will be hard before it gets easier, but it's well worth the wait here is what I'm seeing here. That's why it just keeps like, yeah, that's what I'm going to say with that. Sorry. Like, you have communications. You have star seed angel, which makes a lot of sense with the light too there. You have overcome again, and look at this. This is the boat. You are overcoming things. I mean, I feel like a part of you is trying to like. I think you've hit a rough spot, a rough patch, but you're almost where you need to go. You're almost to that destination of the things that you've been wanting. You have purity, white purity, new beginnings. Yep. And we also have nurture. Okay, and that could be very much. I feel like so much water energy. It's not even funny, even with the boat there. So communication. I think the communication is the key. So the key. Communication for, I feel like, because it's a tough thing for me. It's sort of like, I can see for some of you is, because there's a sense, like over all of them, there's always like a sense of some of them are love reading like kind of things. And so here's what I'm going to say for some of you, and this is kind of weird because, so I feel like you're almost at the sense of a breakthrough. And this is for those of you that this is love. I'm going to go into the other aspects here, but this is for, you're almost at a breakthrough of some kind. There's a sense of needing communication, needing to express possibly needs, desires. But I want you to, this communication has to come from a different place. Possibly before, especially if this is love, the communication came from fear, not from what I'm hearing is love. What needs to come through here in the sense of, I guess, like, I almost feel like that purity is sort of like looking at all this, like burning of all the negativity. I almost want to say the accusations, all the there's a sense here, and I could definitely see this could be for some of you that there's lots of love reading here, even with the I will love you and I will hold you in my arms, I will hold you in my heart until I hold you in heaven. And there's a sense here for some of you that there is finally a communication coming through for some of you from somebody, a strong connection. You'll know if this is what it is. And you're finally almost at the end, but you're about to give up. And sort of like, no, instead of, I think it's a sense of communication coming through here. For others of you, I feel like, like I said, this is like some sort of project. It could be like you're about to graduate, you're about to, I don't know, I can't think of it, like you're writing a book, you're almost at the end. Like, let's say you're writing a book, you're close to the end, you're just having this, like there's a writer's block. Let's use that analogy. Your writer's block, but you're almost there. Instead of just scrapping this, I don't want, instead maybe it's a sense of maybe needing to communicate. For me, communication can also mean prayer for me. I really do. Like if you know me, you know I'm a big believer in prayer. Asking for help, saying it out loud, letting spirit and the universe know what you need help with, especially because I feel like you're about to come through it. Spirit doesn't want you just to give up. That's what I'm seeing here too. Yeah, and I feel like it's the burning away of the negativity. It's the burning away. I want to say it's almost like the burning away of the ego, right? And I feel like, for some of you, maybe it's even that you are starting your ascension process here for some of you as well. It feels like there's a sense of leveling up of some kind. And so not giving up, but rather you've already put a lot of effort into it. It's sort of like you're almost there. You almost got the trophy in a sense. Like persevere. That's what it is. I'm like perseverance. Let's see what other things are coming through here for you. You have the Four of Wands. Tower moment. Yes. Okay. Hangman energy. Oh, this is the tense one. One more card. Knight of Cups. The bottom, Two of Swords. Top, Queen of Swords. Interesting. Okay. And that's maybe being gentle with your communication might be also helpful here as well. Okay. When I looked at the Tower right away, right off the bat, I was like, I actually thought of it, especially with this particular one. It's almost like a sense of again, like it's battling the ego here. It's almost like your ego is telling you move on, give up. It's sort of like that's what the ego is saying here. It could be like, I could also see two people's egos there as well. So when we get the ego involved, though, when we get so the Tower moment comes. It really, I often do, and I like this because it's almost like that's the lighthouse there in a sense. I do actually think of it that way. The Tower moment, usually especially for me, I don't know for everybody, but it's sort of like, it's a very humbling experience. It's a very humbling experience, and it's and in that statement, I understand that it's a lot of ego, right? The reason why we have a Tower moment is because something we've been wanting, something we've been really desiring, right? But we've been blocking ourselves, whatever way. I feel like there's a sense here. We've been blocking ourselves, and Spirit finally goes and helps us by this Tower moment. The Tower moment doesn't matter. It feels bad because it's sort of like, it is a blow to the ego in many ways. It's a blow to the ego, and it's also a blow to how we perceived everything to be. It's sort of like it came undone, right? The Tower is, it's cleaning away everything that was, I would say, extra, wasn't really important. The things that weren't important were cleared away with this Tower, and what remains is what's important. And so what I'm seeing here is that, and in a way that, to me, it is the ego in many ways. So it could be the ego that actually, if this is a connection, if this is to do with love, then the ego of two people here, it's like we're battling it out, right? There is also a sense of overwhelming that this sort of cleared. I could say that there's a joy here of some kind of happiness as well. But this all led to the shifting of the hangman, and which I'm going to say is something that Spirit wants you to see. This tower moment was for your for your well-being. There's also their sense of like needing to shift the perspective of it, because I feel like there's this sort of like shifting the perspective and finally seeing that Knight of Cups that is being offered. This is love. I feel like this, to me, it's sort of like this. It could be, I'm not going to say it could be a person, but it also feels to me like it's an opportunity of some kind that's coming here, coming for you. This is an opportunity. It's almost like, to me, a wish fulfillment of some kind that's going to fulfill you in some energy, in some way. This is like brand new energy that comes after the tower, that's coming from the clearing. And it's very close. And then so the thing that you want, I feel like it's coming towards you. But you're trying to cut and go because I feel like the ego is here. And it's also because I feel like there's some sort of like a challenge up ahead. It is. But you have this. For some of you, I feel like it's the sense of maybe a house. For some of you, it's also like it's like a sense of belonging here. It could be like marriage, happiness. It's possible, but there is this here that needs to be. I almost feel like you have to go through this. Spirit doesn't want you to give up, my friends. It's trying to tell you to be with this the Queen of Swords energy. It's just the way you communicate makes a difference, right? If you're harsh, if you're critical, like I used to be like that. I didn't mean to. I was very much a Queen of Swords in terms of like I can say things that aren't lies. They're truths, but the way we say our truth is totally different, eh? There's the sense of truth here as well, but the way I said it was like there's a harshness there, but that was because, again, my ego. Totally. I hear you. That's what I'm saying, but the way you say things doesn't have to be harsh. You can still say truths, and that's the thing. You can say truths, but not in a harsh manner. And that's some sort of like lesson that I'm seeing here that's important for you. But what I really am seeing here is that you will overcome this. You will overcome whatever obstacles are currently in your path. You're so close to getting to where you want to be. To this, I really do feel like this is an opportunity, whether it be with somebody, because I almost feel like it could be with, like I said, there was a sense of like an ex, something where you still have that connection. It could be there. It could be a completely new other person, but it's sort of like, and here's the thing though, it's bigger than this. The starseed angel is letting me know it's like it's something bigger. It's like, for me, you're leveling up. It really is, to me, like there's a sense of leveling up, and how we perceive things, how we look at things. There's a choice here. Like I don't know. Like you want to cut and run, but I feel like that's not Spirit. Spirit saying you have to face this. If you don't face it now, you'll face it again. And like if you don't, like, you're so close to the victory, you're so close to the outcome. But if you cut and run, you have, first of all, you have to start over again, and that's like, you know. But you will have to go through this. Like there's no way around it. Is what I'm seeing here. There's no way around this. You are so close, but you have to go through this. Sorry, very strong statement, and I feel it strongly. Like I'm like, oh no, we can't cut and run. Deep perspective. You need a connecting to that higher deep perspective, because you do. I feel like you have this ability. Oof. Starseed angel, my friend. You're not rebirth, a new beginning. Yeah, it is. But you have to go through it. I have to say I almost feel like you can't avoid this. Even if you back away and you go somewhere else, you're still gonna have to go through this, because it's how is it? Not a challenge. It's sort of just what you have to do. There's a sense of forgiveness. Maybe, yeah, forgiving the past. There's a sense of nourishing. I almost feel like there's coming through here with this nurture, with this forgiveness. It's instead of being like in way you communicate through love, not through anything other than that. Manifestations aligned. Yes, it is. You're aligning your manifestations to the things that you really truly want, but you gotta go through a little bit of, I would say, like, you gotta grow through this. I hope that makes sense. Soul family, look at that. We have soul family. So call in your tribe. You don't have to go at it alone. Yep, that's communication here too. You don't have to go at it alone. It's like you can call in your soul tribe, especially because you're a starseed there. The great gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits soul tribe. The soul tribe again. Soul tribe coming through here. But it is sort of like that, it's all coming together. It's sort of like, it's what I'm seeing, like you're so close to it, but you're gonna, it's like, you're gonna have obstacles. I can't, like, there will be, but don't cut and run, my friend. Don't cut and run. Where are you being called to journey to? Towards the lighthouse, towards your everything. You're just so close, my friends. I wish I could just show you that it is. I can feel it. And what's there is like, the outcome is so happy. So don't cut and run. Please don't do that. You're so close. I know I keep repeating it. Sort of like, it's funny. It's like, surrender to your soul's path. Your life journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. Yes. There's lessons to be had and you're learning them. It's sort of like you have to let go of the ego. And I think that's the last bit. That's what I'm seeing here. Surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe, focus on your own power, and let others come to you. Okay, look at that. Don't cut and run. That's all I have to say. And surrender your ego. Yes, it is. It really is. This one was my strong friends, my friends. It's sort of like, this was to me like the mystic pile. Cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. Yes, and that's what it is here. Be of service to others. Come from your heart and speak from your heart. I know what that's like. I really do. Sort of like you have this cutting remark, but don't do it. The need for healing here, for mending, especially those where this is some reconciliation. You gotta let go of the ego. You gotta I almost feel like come from a place of unconditional love. Yeah, that's what I am seeing here. For yourself and for others as well. I hope you liked this reading. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up and please do consider subscribing and check out our community. In our community tab, you can vote on the readings, like the content that you want. You can also enter for the monthly free personal reading giveaway. And there's also just like fun bits that I have in there. So thank you so much for being here. And until I see you in the next one, bye-bye, my dear friends.